The Eiffel Tower, one of the world's most visited monuments, has a strong association with science. Gustave Eiffel, who designed and built the Eiffel Tower, had the names of 72 scientists, mathematicians and engineers inscribed on its four sides. However, all these pioneers were men. Now, the city of Paris is set to inscribe the names of 72 women scientists above the existing names. To find out more, I spoke to Benjamin Rigaud, who came up with this idea.
So in July 2021, I was a guide throughout the Eiffel Tower. Every day, I showed to the tourists the list of 72 great men written on the first floor. But one day, a lady asked me if Marie Curie was part of the list, and then I realized there were no women on this list. Suddenly, I saw that the second floor of the Eiffel Tower had 40 empty spaces, and that's how I get to the idea to add some 40 women's names on the second floor of the Eiffel Tower. First, I was elected president of the student association's Défis Sorbonne, which promotes innovations by creating meaningful projects. Then I asked for the support of the president of Sorbonne University, Nathalie Drachtemam, who agreed to become our official sponsor. Then we created the research committee with Sandrine Aragon, and we organized a conference on the day of a solar eclipse in tribute to Eclipse Women of History at Paris Observatory. We then partnered with the association Femmes et Sciences and obtained an official cooperation with Sciences Po Paris when I was a student. So at first we proposed 40 names for the second floor of the tower, but then a committee was organized at the Eiffel Tower, and the chief architect Pierre-Antoine Gatier proposed that 72 women names should be added just above the existing list of 72 men. And this is the idea that the mayor Anne Hidalgo chooses, because it's a more equalitarian idea.
Let's now listen in to Sandrine Aragon, who is the director of the IPATI project committee.
The committee IPATI was created to put Benjamin's ideas forward. Sorbonne University Committee was created in 2022. It has brought together Faculty of Science, Medicine and Humanities, as well as partners like University of Technology of Compiègne and Paris Observatory, an equal number of women and men researchers involved in gender equality. It has demonstrated the project's ability to bring people together across different fields of expertise. We discussed the boundaries, the domains, the pioneers to highlight on the Eiffel Tower. We gave first a list of 40 names of women of saints, for the Eiffel Tower Committee, directed by Isabelle Vauglin and Jean-François Martins, and then 72.
I also spoke to Professor Françoise Combe, who is the president of the French Academy of Sciences and a member of the commission tasked with implementing this project. Why is there a need to include the names of women scientists on the Eiffel Tower?
There is a need to include the women because for the moment there is 72 men names included by Gustave Eiffel only, and of course the Eiffel Tower is a symbol of France, but not only, for also the tourists, some European tourists, US tourists and so on. And they ask, well, why there are only men written there? And there are some women, very meritant women who deserve to be there. So it was Gustave Eiffel, of course, and this epoch, 1889, he had no other scientists' ideas to put women, because there was a strong majority of men in science at this epoch. But since then, nowadays we are about 35% of women in science, and there is a need to reverse this tendency.
Gustave Eiffel chose scientists from 1789 to 1889. What will be the criteria for choosing the women scientists whose names will be inscribed on the Eiffel Tower?
So when he wrote his will, in fact, it was the man from 1789 to now. And now was 1889 for him. But we are going exactly to follow his will, and from 1789 to now also. Of course, the first century there's not a lot of women, but now we have a lot of them. So we will try to find names from 1789 to now. And we also follow his will by choosing only deceased persons and French people, Well, not only French, maybe because science is now very mondialization, and there are some scientists that has come to France to do research for several years, and we want to include them also. So there will be French people, but also some other scientists that had come to France to do science.
Can you provide some of the names of the women scientists?
Well, of course, in the Marie Curie, and of course her daughter, which is Irène Joliot-Curie, but there are also Yvonne Choquet-Brouillard, for instance. It will be the most recent woman because she died this year, and she was the first woman elected to the Academy of Sciences. You know that even the Curie was not elected to science because there was so a will against science, against women in science, that they were not accepted. And but there are many women since then.
As a woman scientist, what do you think of the inclusion of the new names? What does it signify?
It's in fact a lot because we need to show that the women are exactly as competent as men to do science, and there is a lot of stereotypes on this. And it is important for young girls, for instance, when they see some women that are celebrated on the Eiffel Tower, it encourages them to follow this vocation of science. Before, seeing only men, it was not very encouraging, saying, well, it's not for me, science is not for me. But here, they will see that there is equal number of men and women on the Eiffel Tower. It's very important, symbolic, but very important to show them that it is exactly possible, as well as men, to be a scientist in the women category.